This is Bridget Round with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, I am driving to a nighttime Amazon Flex, and I just wanted to collect as much information or examples of things as possible to show those out there who are interested in doing this for a side hustle. I've been grateful that my business has never completely stopped making money. Like every month there has been consistent income. It's just nowhere near where it was. So for the past few months, I've been trying to find the perfect way to supplement my income, but not destroy my energy and take away all of my time. I had signed up to Amazon Flex months ago, right when I first started to do the actual driving with them, because I like being my own boss. I like being in control of what I'm doing. But there was a 90-day waiting period for Amazon Flex at that time in my area. That may not be the case for you. You may be able to sign up and start driving tomorrow if they don't have like an overflow of drivers in your area, or they have a very busy warehouse in your area. So sign up the quicker, the better it'll be. All you need to do is Google, and I will show you that in this video, how to Google and get your Amazon Flex app. It's not in the Google Store or the Play Store. Pretty self-explanatory. You got to put in like your name, your date of birth, your social security number, stuff like that. And if they have stuff in your area available right then, good. Could not get a block to save my life. However, I noticed that as time went on and I kept checking, more of them were coming available and more of them were staying up longer. They did have a problem at one point with like people downloading these bots into their computer or phone, and the bot would immediately grab any block that came up that they wanted and would accept it for them. So it was like impossible for anybody without the bots to get a block. And I was like, ooh, I was almost gonna get the bot to get the block, but I also read that Amazon was onto this and they were terminating the accounts connected to those bots, and they had just done like some crazy amount, like 700,000 terminations. So it's probably a good time to get in, but don't get the bot. Wait it out. I've noticed that after I accepted my first bot or my first block, I've been getting more and more coming. Like at the end of the day, when I'm back from doing that session that I just did, there will be like some popping up for me. So now every once in a while they'll send some and they're like, these ones are just for you. You have till 4 a.m. to accept them if you want them. And they're coming out of the same station for me, because in the app you can be like, I don't want to drive out of Nashua, which is like New Hampshire, which is another state, to possibly get a block that's going to be an hour away from there. So I've been going to Bridgewater. It's 35 minutes if I take these highways there. And when I get there, I've seen anywhere from 8 packages and 8 stops to 38 packages with 38 stops. And those pay ranges have been $69 to $103. So the other day I got $72 to go to 8 places. And that was so freaking easy. 8 places, guys. Granted, I did have to drive an hour to Rhode Island to do the first delivery and then drive an hour home at the last delivery, but I still did all of that in the block time that I was scheduled for. I was like, gotta be there at 5:45, and it was scheduled to 9:45. When I got there, I was on time, but they didn't have everything staged already, so I had to wait for my cart to be ready. I got my cart. There was only 8 things in it, so I left there probably 30 minutes later than normal. I drove an hour away, delivered those 8 packages, and then I still had an hour before that block was supposed to be done. And I found that to be pretty consistent with everyone I've done. I'm either finished an hour early or 2 hours early, depending on where I am. Gotta drive back. Last night I was lucky. I only had 25 of them, and it was in Taunton, which is like this town over from Bridgewater, which is where I'm picking up from. So it was pretty close to home last night when I was done. It is pretty good money considering what you're doing, and your area may be different than my area. That's your goal, is get rid of all the packages. Again, much less time invested into this and much more money paid through this. And the chances of you getting a small route are pretty high, and it's easy, and you get to choose too. Like they have $55 routes for 2 hours. So I can't even imagine. You might get like 5 packages in one of those. It's easy, you know. For me, it's easy. Probably other people coming in off the outside, they may not feel like, oh wow, this is so easy, because they haven't done the 200 stops with like 250 packages, 10 hours a day in a huge van that is in the way of everybody. So my perspective may be like, wow, to other people's like, oh, this is kind of difficult. It's really not once you get used to it. The biggest hurdle I find 333 is in front of us on a license plate is getting over the difference in the GPS than the GPS with Google. For some reason, the GPS with Amazon is very different. But once you get it, you know it, and you just get intuitively like, all right, I'm not gonna go all the way over there when I can just go straight through. And there's some parts in this video that will show you what I mean with that and what you should do in those cases. But yeah, this is a pretty easy side gig, and you're in control of it. I'll show you how to accept blocks. I'll show you how to forfeit a block if you can't work that time. If I woke up sick today, I would have all day long to decide up until basically the time it's time for me to leave if I want to take it or cancel it. But I know there's people out there that are wanting to do this but are nervous to do this. I'm going to show you everything you need to know so you don't need to be nervous. If you hadn't already downloaded Amazon Flex, it's not available in the Play Store or the App Store, but it is in Google. So you would want to Google Amazon Flex, and then you would download it right here. Okay, download for the thing or download for the iPhone, and once you do, it will prompt you inside of it like how to set up. There may not be that many drivers in your area, so you may not have to wait, and I do believe that the wait was worth it. And once you've got the app, sorry, the dog is drinking, you would go into the app, and they always do these like updates right here. You can look at it or you can not, but up here with the 3, they have updates, schedule, offers, your dashboard, your calendar, all of that stuff. So like my calendar right now shows me that I have blocks coming up today, this day, and other days. If I wanted to go see what's coming up for offers, right now there isn't any in my area, but I have stations filtered here. So you would click filter, and you tell them like what time and what places. So I've done all the places that are near me, and then it will have them. So look at that, Tuesday 10:15 to 2:45. I don't really want to do that one, it's too early for me, but if I had wanted to, I could click on it, schedule it, and then it will be in my calendar. And say I can't do it anymore, you have 45 minutes before it starts to cancel it. So you click on it and you forfeit it. As long as you don't keep doing that, you should be good. And if you do it, like if you're in traffic or something, you're not going to get there, I would suggest calling them, which there is like a emergency help. You don't want that, but you would probably, look in here for help. Like, I need help with something, contacting them, making deliveries, whatever it is. The one that I have today is coming up soon. So when I open up my app and I go to my schedule, it's going to say go to the start location. So I can click that. You can also make it so that you're available right now for instant offers. So if there's like a Whole Foods near you that has a package that needs to go and it's not too far away, you can go do that. I just keep it off and do the ones that are like a day ahead of me, because it gets overwhelming to do way too many. I've been doing doubles. I've done 2 routes on one day, and even with that I still have plenty of time, plenty of energy left to do my other things, and that's why I like doing this with them. So you would just hit go to the start location and it will bring up the thing. My route starts at 6:15, but I have until 6:20 to scan my license. All right, so we're on our way. As I open this up, I can click to see all of the stuff up here with this hamburger menu. Bridgewater, I used to work out of the one in Middleborough. There's a lot of people here right now. This is the most I've seen people be here. Hopefully I can find a freaking parking spot. And the carts here are so much smaller. See that cart right there? He's filling up his car. The carts that I used to get when I was driving the big van was like 10 times the freaking size, and I would have like 4 of them. Okay, so I've arrived. It's about 30 seconds to verify that I'm gonna get my ID out of my bag. There we go. And then I go inside. Alright, so when you walk in, there's usually one of these right near the door that you're entering. You're going to scan your license. Sometimes it doesn't work right away. Sometimes you have to like hit that thing to get the numbers to go all the way across. Sometimes you have to scan it more than once to get it to go through. But then it will prompt onto your phone when you see that little green check, and you'll see it pop up on your phone. Alright, so we're staged at 177 Route 813, and we're going to go find it. As you can see, the numbers are above the carts up there, so we're going to 177, and those little squares on the floor also will have numbers on them, so you can find 177, 178, and when you find your cart, you scan one of the packages inside of that cart, and it will prompt that this is your route. Sometimes you have to scan it twice, but it should show you this, and then you can go. Alright, so my A's are there, my B's are there, my C's are there, my D's are there. But one of the big boxes in the back, but it will tell me on the screen that it's a big box. Say start travel.
Exit parking towards Elm Street, then turn left.
And it's a 30-minute drive to the first stop. I usually get my first package, so it tells me like 32 Lewis Avenue is an A small box. So sometimes they tell you the wrong things. Like you'll expect it to be a box, but it's actually a bag or one of these brown envelopes. It says it's a small box, but it's actually that thing. If you're driving at night, I like to keep it dark, but if you're driving during the day, you can hit this little thing there and turn it to light. It's totally up to you.
Head south on Elm Street.
Usually the stops are pretty close together. The furthest I've had to go is like 13 minutes between my stops, but leaving from the station can be 5 minutes to an hour. Just gonna double check. So when you're driving, you can hit this up here and hit today's itinerary. Yeah, see, I had a feeling I was going to the wrong spot. So I want to go to my second stop, not my fifth stop, to check that you hit the right thing. But yeah, I'm going 27 minutes away with my first package, and then this one I'm doing today was 2:45 to 5:45. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I have another one at 7:15, so hopefully I should have plenty of time to finish this one and go back and get the other one. The only times that you ever really run into a problem is if, like, when you get there you can't get in, or if you can't find the place, or if there's nobody available to accept it and they have it like with a signature on it, or if they have it with like a code. If it's an expensive item, they have like these codes that are needed. Half the people don't know the code, so you gotta find the person, ask them for the code. If they don't have the code, you gotta ask for the last 2 digits of the phone number connected to the package. And if they still don't know that, then you gotta take it back to the station. So the whole goal here is to get rid of all the packages so you don't have to go back to the station. Today I won't really care if I have to go back to the station because I gotta go back to the station anyways to pick up the next route. But tonight we definitely don't want to be going back to the fucking station afterwards. We just want to go home. So when we get there, I'll show you the rest. It does give us weirder directions, like sometimes it will tell us like get off exit 337A. But the exit that you're looking at when you're getting off will say like 10. That happened to me yesterday. The other night when I was out driving, it was having me go in like squares, and there was one point where I could see where my next stop was because it will show you like your first stop. See that 2? It's technically the second stop because the first stop was going to the station, okay? I could see that the little green thing was lit up, like right near me, but it was taking me 9-minute drive to get to it. And I could see that there was a street that connected. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go this way. My dad was with me and I was like, let's just go this way. We cut it down from a 9-minute drive to a 1-minute drive by doing that. So it pays to pay attention to what this thing's trying to do to you because it does silly shit. It's also designed for people who are driving those big ass vans and trucks so that they don't have to like park on the side of the street and run across the street to deliver. So it'll have you go up to like a cul-de-sac street, which could be like a mile away from where you are, to do a U-E, to come back so that you're on that side of the street. You don't want to have to do that stuff if you're in a car or even in a van, especially if it's an easy enough driveway to pull into. You can cut like 10 minutes off your route, which adds up when you pay attention. So pay attention to what this craziness thing does. And if you ever touch the screen, you see the resume right here, you want to resume. If you can't stand the bitch's voice, you can turn it off. this thing has been the biggest pain in the ass for everybody that I know that has driven for Amazon. Even the dudes that I drove with in the big trucks, there was guys that I had to go rescue a lot because it throws them off. It's like, they're like, it said to do this and I don't know where to go and oh my god, and it's crazy. Don't be afraid of it. Just know that it does silly shit, and no matter what, you can find where you're trying to go. You might need to pull out the Google one sometimes to help you to find it, or just use the process of elimination. Like if you're driving in a cul-de-sac home area and the house address is 10 and you're looking at the 30s and 40s, go in the direction towards where 10 would be instead of going, don't keep going up to the 50s, 60s, and 70s when you're looking for 10. Turn around and find it. Sometimes you might have to contact the support people to be like, hey, this thing ain't pinged correctly, and they will help you to do that. Sometimes if you're close enough to it and they know that you're trying to drop it off at a place, it'll even prompt you on the screen like, are you at the destination, and it's just pinged wrong, and you can say yes, and then you just drag the screen and it will be fine. You'll know what to do. Like, it will let you do it on your own. Unless you're too far away from where they think it should be, then they make sure by you having to either text them or call them through the support. And sometimes it tells you that there's a stop sign or a stoplight when there isn't a stop sign or a stoplight. You always want to pay attention to like the 500 feet type of thing. Like right now it says 0.3, 0.2, it's going to say 0.1, and then it's going to go down to like 500 or 750. You want to pay attention to that because sometimes things just creep up on you. Sometimes she doesn't say to turn. So sometimes it's okay to have her be off, her voice off, especially when you're more comfortable with it. I have her voice off right now so that I can talk to you guys while I'm doing this, but I've been doing this a lot. Here to our first on the right. And maybe I will speed these things up, but I know some people really like very in-depth direction and some people don't need very in-depth direction. So you can always speed up a video too when you're watching it. You can go like into the little cogwheel thing and say like speed this up to 2.5, speed, so that what the parts of it that you don't really need, you can speed right through. But for those of you that are like, no, I need to see every single thing that this girl's doing so that I can feel confident, then, I try to record and think of everybody in mind because it's stressful when you do something new. But once you do it, it's easy. Like, I was hesitant to go do this on my own, even though I'd already driven for them before. You know what the process was going to be like. Houses on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to pass 4 houses on our left, and then it's going to be the house on the end of the cul-de-sac that's situated in the way that house is situated there, and I can see it perfectly. So that's how the house is situated at the end of the cul-de-sac. That's how I know where I'm going. We just passed 4 houses before we got to it, and this is going to be our delivery. Clicked I've parked, and I'm going to scan my package. Oh, wait. There it is, up here. I had it beside me, but sometimes they slide. So it says front door, front porch, so we're just going to go right to the front door, front porch with it. We hit continue with one package, and then it's going to prompt us to take a picture. So I'm just going to go right up to the front door. It's 19, right on the thing. And this is 19, so I just want to make sure. I put it right on the step, and then you got to line up that little box with the package. You want to try to get the picture of the house shown in there too, so that, or like the number shown in there too, so that they can't dispute that you dropped it off there. And then swipe to finish. And before we go to the next stop, I see that I'm looking for 11 Country Club, which is an A. And I have all the A's right beside me, so he's 3 minutes away. Very close. Most of them are very easy. Not every single one is easy, but most of them are easy. Look at that. Oh. So then you can see me too. So my package is here. It's got a key code on it, but sometimes we don't need that. Sometimes they just put random shit up in there. So we'll see when we get there if we actually need 1, 2, 3, 4. Highly doubtful, but we'll see. Okay. The other night I had one of those lifty up things that I had to get through, and they gave me the code 3113. It wouldn't work when those key things are there, unless it says like Amazon has some that will unlock a door for you. I've gone to like this old folks home many times, and that little key thing will unlock the door so that you can get in and go in, and you don't have to deal with anybody. All the old people want their stuff right at their door. They don't want you to drop it off like in the mail room or downstairs. They're all worried people are going to steal it. Which again, there's a lot of people like, it depends on what you deliver too. Like if you go to a beautiful area where there's all these mansions and shit, it's very easy. If you go into the city where everybody's piled on top of each other, people get really freaked out. So now we're going on Country Club Way. We're gonna go down to the end of this dead-end street. There doesn't appear to be any, like, holdups. And we can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be the 5th house down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be the one after that on the right. And see the U? See the little U-y thing with the little arrow? That means that when I'm done here, I'm gonna wanna turn around and go back that way. So here I am at this house. I'm gonna pull right in because I don't want to keep going straight when I'm done here. It's number 11 right on the front of the door. So boop, there's absolutely no reason for that 1, 2, 3, 4 scan. Continue with one package. I always put stuff at the door that it looks like it makes sense to put it, like the one that people are coming in and out of the most, but it's up to you. Put it. And again, I want to get the 11 in my picture. Our next stop. 3 minutes. It's another A. Makes it easy because it's right beside me in the car. Sometimes it will see how it says envelope. This one is actually an envelope. Go to our next stop. 1.2 miles. And see, this is easy. So like last night when they gave me 11, there was like houses that were like 6 minutes apart, 8 minutes apart. That was the most that they were apart. The other night when I only had 8 stops, there was some that were like 13 minutes apart, whatever, but it's still not that bad. It's like, I get things done much faster than the projected time, but I also, like, I did it every day in that huge van. I would have 200 stops, 250 packages. It was a lot, and I was only getting $22 an hour. It was definitely not worth it. They're definitely taking advantage of us by doing that, because when I grab a block from Amazon, that's what they were doing, but they were just grabbing tons of blocks that are going to a similar area and just piling it all in the van with me. So they're probably making like $6,000 off of that van that I took for the day, and I was only getting like $500 to $700 a week, even when I was working like 5-10-hour shifts. It was not worth it. Just to give us a big bag, you know, full of packages like this. One of those big bags would be like everything that's in my car right now, and I ended up having like 22 of those big bags. So that's like 22 of this car full, plus overflow packages that they would give to me, which are big packages that are heavy. They said that nothing would be over 50 pounds, but even those bags could be over 50 pounds sometimes. And some, like, I've delivered beds, I've delivered TVs, I've delivered crazy shit. Tells you what the speed limit is. You want to try to abide by it so that you don't get, you know, pulled over, because you're in your own car when you're doing this. That's another thing. You got to have your own car for this. With Uber, though, like, you can rent a car to use for Ubering, and you could also use that car for doing this. You could use that car for doing DoorDash. I did DoorDash. It wasn't really worth it. It was hit or miss. I was very lucky, though. There was times I'd go out for like an hour, make $100. Then I brought my dad with me. It was like all the luck went away. So 149 is right on the right. You go to the front door, front porch. Sometimes they'll say the rear door or the back porch, or they'll give you like a written direction on where they want it. But for the most part, when you're at houses like this, it's front door. Take a picture. I need an A, small box. I used to like laugh at that, but then I saw how crazy dogs can be, and was like, okay, I get it. They're kind of jerks. Right here, take a right. That's another thing. Sometimes that could throw you off. It looks like you're gonna go in the opposite direction, or it doesn't look like you're taking a right when you are. But you'll get used to it. Just pay attention to it. It's the best advice I can give. And pay attention to it when it looks like it's gonna be taking you on some crazy mission. You know, like, you see how you can see the roads around it? Like, I was going to take a left the other day, and there was a stop, like, right there. That little thing. There was a stop right there. They're gonna have me go left and go all the way around to go there. And I was like, I don't think so, unless that's a one-way street. That makes no fucking sense. My dad's like, I don't know, maybe. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Because it was so close. At that point, I was like, it's worth looking, rather than driving 9 minutes out of our way if we don't have to. And I was right. It was right there. And then there was another time that night that it had us we were on like a main road like we are right now. It was like, take a right, take a left, and then get right back onto that main road. So there's absolutely no reason to do that, because the other cars that went straight were like right ahead of us again. We can also kind of gauge things by just looking like this is a big street I'm passing, makes sense for that one right there. Then I'm gonna go past Clark Ave, I'm gonna go by the next one, so that I know, right, after this one here, Riverside, it will be the one I'm looking for. That thing's popping up, it lets me know I'm getting close. So put my blinker on, and it's gonna be the third house on my left. or the third building on my left, depending on what kind of houses or buildings these are. Looks like they could be apartments. So, boom, 1, a 2, a 3. Yeah, it's a big house, but it's like an old one. I put my flashers on. Oh, and it has a wrappy around driveway. So we're gonna drive right up in there. Wrappity round, wrappity round. Let's get the package. And then it says front door, front porch, beware of their dog. Try to get the 32. Sometimes though, it will say it's an A, but somebody marked it C. So if you're at a stop and you're like, where the hell is this? It's supposed to be in the A's, but you have packages all over the car. Check the rest of the car, because sometimes they may mark it wrong. My dad was with me one night, and there was a package sitting there staring at him. And I'm like, I need the package. And I looked over here twice, because I assumed, since he was here to help me find packages, he would have found the package. I was sitting there next to him. And I told him, but that's the type of thing that happens, is this is the type of information people just feel like it's not relevant to them, or it's not going to happen to them, or it only happens once in a while, or it's not a big deal. So they don't listen. And then it happens, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, I told you it could happen. The same thing when I was training with the guy who trained me. He was like, you really want to pay attention to this, because it definitely messes everybody up, and boop-a-da-bop. And when we switched seats, and I started driving, I was getting messed up, like, immediately. And he was like, yeah, it messes people up. So I would, really listen to that. Most of the time it's okay, but when it's not, it's really not. And it's like, oh no, what did I do? So I'm gonna go for a little bit. I'll be back. This one was very deceptive because it's a very long driveway, and it says that it's a street, but it's not a street, it's a house. So we're just gonna pull up to the house. That can happen. There's no street sign way out here. And then this one, they want us to click it. They didn't mark it. They wanted the front door, back door, whatever. So I'm just going to say front door, continue. But as you can see, that's the driveway. I'm going to walk up here. Beep, bop, boop, beep, bop, doop, bop, beep, bop, bop, boop. Go to their front door. 43 was on the door, so take a picture. It's very hidden. And then people hide their, you don't notice, or you can't see that their house number sometimes, especially at night. That makes it harder when you can't see where you're going. So back to 3 minutes, an A, 164 East. This one, the thing's cut off on the side of it. The picture, or the label says 64 East Street, but we could process of elimination that and know that it's 164 East Street, because it's most likely not going to be a 64 East Street and a 164 East Street. Also, it won't scan. So I don't know if you've noticed, I've been scanning those little barcodes on the labels. That's how we double check. If you scan it and it comes back red, then that's probably not it. Sometimes, though, it will say that it's not, and then it scans the next one right beside it, and it is. So you gotta be careful, because it likes to mess with you. You'll think, oh, I got the wrong package, and you don't have the wrong package. It's just it's stupid. Sometimes you scan the exact same barcode more than once, and then it comes back. It's like the first one's like, no, that's wrong, and the second time it's like, no, that's right. So don't trust this thing ever, basically. And as we're driving to the 7th stop, we can see the 8th stop is going to be up there, so we have an idea of where we're going next. So we're probably going to have to turn around at the next one, obviously, to come back to number 8. Sometimes you can override it too. Like if you want to deliver 8 right now, you could do that, but it's not necessary. It's totally up to you. Whatever makes sense. That's wrong. This is the right. There. Perfect example of what I mean. Even they did it differently this time. We're headed up here to that. You see, I was just coming up this road, so I could have gone straight and then taken a left, but I just went with the way that they were going. But sometimes they even have an alternate route. And it doesn't matter. If you ever miss a turn or something, it will recalculate and take you there. But just pay attention. If it goes from being a 3-minute drive to a 10-minute drive, you're better off turning around. But if you miss a thing in the middle of a city and you're on 3rd Street, you need to go to 4th Street, it's not a huge deal. So also you can see the continuation of our route is going to be up that road. But here we go onto this road right now. Beautiful. Not a lot of traffic. You don't have to deal with worrying about people trying to steal your car or steal your packages. So it's nice to come to areas like this. So right now is a perfect example of the weird shit it does. I was coming up this highway right here, the Boston Providence Highway, and it wanted me to do a U-turn, but I couldn't do a U-turn, so I had to turn down the other side to come up again to here. But I'm facing the light, and it looks like I'm facing a different direction, which I'm not, and it's been spinning and shit, which it does sometimes, which throws people off, because it's like, why is it spinning? Is it like recalculating, you know? So you want to be aware that you're taking a left, but it thinks that you're facing a whole other direction when you're not. So as we start to move, see, it kind of is like, oh, this is where we are. I was not facing that direction. There was no reason for the car to be looking like it was facing that direction, but that's what it does. So you want to just trust yourself more than this. I know that it threw a lot of people off. There was a guy that was like 4 hours behind every night. Me and another guy had to go rescue him several times, and he still would finish way later than he should have. They had to call him back a few times without finishing his route because of how slow he was, and it was because of the GPS. Like, I went and got him one night, he was like crying because of how fucked up it was. He was like, what do I do? Where do I go? And I told him where to go from where we were standing on the side of the street. I'm like, it's 3 houses over to find it. So when the other guy got there to do rescue of him too, he walked him over to it to show him where to put it. But that's how difficult it was for that guy. It was already halfway done at 4 o'clock, and we started at 2:45. So right now is a perfect example of these, and reopen it so that it will pull up the correct things so I can see the packages, because the bottom of the screen was missing on that one. Guys, we're on our last one, and this one has 2 packages.
Turn right onto Millbrook Avenue.
Tells you that you have 2 packages on it. So they're the last 2 packages in the car. It won't be hard to find, but it also will tell you, like, one is a B or one is a C. They both happen to be B's. One is the big one in the trunk, and one is the big one in the back seat. It is 5 o'clock. We're done early. Is the house we're going into ready, I believe? Is this it? It must be. These houses are so big. Yeah, peek. See the houses? Big ass houses. Big ass houses. Why is it doing that? There we go. See what I mean? Perfect example. Another safe location. Oh. There's that front door. And we are done. So at the end, it will, if I had something to bring back with me, it would be like, yeah, bring back your thing right now or before 10 a.m. I can check my schedule, 7:15 to 10:15. Oh, not bad. Those are really nice. Open that up. You guys can take a peek. Where are we? See all these nice houses? See all these nice houses? I swear, Spirit's showing me, like, look at the nice houses you could live in instead of, you know, the house you don't like, you know? Beautiful. You gotta look at these things. It's like a vision board, you know? It's like, wow, look at these beautiful homes that you could have that are well maintained and pretty looking and have tons of room for you. You just gotta dream big. Don't give up, you know? I wish that when I was making, you know, $20,000 a month, I left where I was because I wanted to, but I didn't because I felt like I shouldn't, because, you know, I was like, well, the person let me live here and did other nice things and bop da boop and my family's here, and it was just a stupid mistake. So this time we're gonna go where we want to go, that makes sense to go, and not let things like that interfere with us going, because turns out none of those things are happening anymore. So staying there was really in vain, you know, really. I also got bit by the tick there. My dogs got bit by ticks there and got Lyme. It was just, you know, I cried the first day there because of how dark it was, and I was like, I just know shit, and I knew it was going to be hard. On today, we're going to be going here. I don't want to forfeit it, showing you that's the one we're going to. This is the latest I've ever been to be picking up my block, but My block starts at 6:15. We have until 6:20 to scan our license. So as you can see, I'm 1 minute away. But I'm usually here a few minutes before this so that I can take my picture and do all my stuff. It's actually sometimes pays to come late, I heard. I haven't intentionally done it yet because I feel like it may not be the right thing to do. But if you come in and they've given out all that they have to give out and you've scheduled for that block for $80 and you scan last and there's nothing left for you to take, you may get to go home with that $80 paid. So, you know, if you're like me and you run late a lot, it may actually come in your favor with this type of job once in a while. And you can see this is the station. It doesn't look very busy, which is a good sign. That probably means that there's not a ton of stuff to take. So I've arrived. Use the photo. I got my license in my pocket. So now we go find a place to log in. When scanning your license, you may have to sometimes click right there to get the numbers to go all the way across, or have to scan 2 to 3 times to get it to go. But when you see that green check, you know you're good. It will prompt on your phone and you go find it. So we're looking for staging 2, 3, 4 for the route CB1. Let's go find it. And we found it. You need to scan one of the packages inside of your cart. Oop, it says it's not your route, but it is. What? Look at that. View pickup. And then you can see like where your stops are going and all of that. Swipe to finish, and then go load your car in a way that makes sense. I do the A's, the B's, the C's, and the D's. So we got 20 packages, 20 stops. So each one of these has these little, see the C's? CCC. I put them in like that. So this is the C, this is the C. I put the C's together, put the A's together, put the B's together, put the D's together. These are all C's. Very cool. So we open this up. Our itineraries in the hamburger. So today's itinerary shows us we're going to Plainville, Rentham, Norfolk, and Foxborough. If we look at the map, we can see they're all pretty close together. 20 and 21 are pretty far apart. But you see, it's weird. Like, I wish I would like to take my map one day and do like my own thing. Because where are we? Like, we're right here. It looks like, I don't know, I guess we're going out and then we're coming closer, so then it'll be closer to home when I finish. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, it's like they go all over the place. So we go back to the itinerary, and we want to make sure we're going to the first stop, and it's a package C for Oak Ridge Drive. Start travel, 24 minutes, not so bad. 3. We're about 5 minutes away, 3.3 miles away. We're going to 11 Oak Ridge Drive. It is nighttime, so I'm going to hit that little ring and turn it dark. It makes it easier to see. I'm going to turn that all the way down. See, she turns herself back up, so you're going to turn it all the way down. She turns herself back up every time I turn her down, and it's so aggravating because sometimes she does it like 3 or 4 times in a row. Like yesterday, I recorded some of these, and I didn't even know that she was on talking, so it's like you could barely hear me because she was still running her mouth. So I'm at my first house. I'm putting my little hazard lights on with Ian, boop, right there, and say that there's a problem. Continue with the package, right? And then when you're in here, you can hit the question mark and say text, call, unable to take a photo. If the people take it from you, you can click unable to take a photo. You can report a dog, and you can also get driver support right there. And if you need, like, say this house says it's here, but it's not really here, you might want to hit driver support and let them know. What did it say on it? Rear door, rear porch. So I was already headed there. This would be the rear door, rear porch. Put it up. Gonna take a picture. Click. Swipe. All done. Now the next one is an A, and I have those all in front with me. So I'm looking for 323 Madison Street. I'm going to start the travel. It has a key. Place inside the front storm door. So this one, we don't even need that key thing with us. They just put a note in the wrong spot. I got it. Here we go. And sometimes just doing things helps us to do things. Because if you don't just do it, you'll never gonna know. I can show you till I'm blue in the face. I can tell you and explain everything. But just do it, man. It's fucking easy. I think it's just that initial curve we got to get over doing something sometimes that we haven't done before. Because I did this before. I did this in the big van. I went there every day. But I was still nervous about going to a whole new station and to a whole new ballgame. But I'm so fucking glad I did because... And I'm signed up to go to other. I'm still signed up to go to that station I used to work out of every day. I just haven't seen any blocks become available. But I've been getting all these blocks in Bridgewater, and I really feel like because I've been accepting them, because I've been doing a good job with them, they keep sending me more for that station. And what I have noticed of that station is far less hectic. It is laid back compared to like the one that I was going to before. The one I was going to before, they have people in there that were like directing you in and out. They would make you stop at the right time. They wouldn't let you exit your car unless everybody's cars were off. It was like a whole different thing.
and there was an overpass thing that they would park under to get their cars filled up. And I think it's just a bigger station. They have bigger amount of rules. They got a lot more people and stuff going on in there. The little Bridgewater one has been a little gem for me because it's easy. There's nobody up your ass. Just do what you need to do and you go home. You should always finish within that allotted time that they give you. If it says 5:15 to 10:15, I've been finishing before 9. But if you're brand new, you've never done it before, don't beat yourself up if it takes you the full 4 hours to complete one. Or the full 5 hours to complete one. Whatever you sign up for. If you run over, you run over. It's not the end of the world. The best thing I can say is just go with the flow and don't stress yourself out. Pay attention to this thing. Now, see how that says this delivery is late, blah, blah, blah. I ignore that because I'm like, who the hell doesn't want their late package, you know? I probably shouldn't ignore it. I should probably call and make sure, but I don't know anybody that's going to be like, no, don't bring me my late package. They're probably going to be like, yes, I want my package. So it just sounds like you're going to set yourself up to get yelled at. So like, no, we're just going to do it. Turn on the light, take a picture, go back. Yeah, so I was going to show you because it was doing the spinning thing. Yeah, let's see, it's doing the spinning thing. I'm driving straight up that road, see how it's fixed itself. But when it does the spinning thing, just know that it's probably, I don't know, maybe it thinks you're going too fast. I have no idea why it does it, honestly, but sometimes it does it. So just know that, like, don't flip out and be like, oh, I'm going the wrong way, and turn around, because it will just keep spinning in circles. An hour, we're already halfway done. And I'm pretty sure the middle of the route was all pretty close together. So the next half shouldn't take us as long as the first half. Definitely not as long as the first half. This first half we had, 25-minute drive out here. And then there was a couple of them that were like 10 minutes apart. So hopefully we won't be out here for too much longer. I can get home just quickly enough, take a shower, and go live to do the full moon, which is again one of the reasons why I like doing this, because I had all day today at home to rest. I slept until like 2 p.m. I did a double yesterday, and I didn't have to leave the house until 2 o'clock, and I was home by 10 o'clock. So, it's nice to not be gone 24/7. Take a picture. So this one looks fun. The aggressive jug is on the porch. May return package to station for redelivery. Oh god. What the fuck? We see the dog. We're gonna throw the package in the front yard and run. Stops to go, and I go home. But I know the last two were far apart for me. I guess like 12 minutes. 12 minutes and maybe 10 minutes? 12 and 10? Oh boy, I'm getting close. Getting close to the doggy dog. I don't know if anybody is interested in that. Seeing me get killed by a dog, but actually maybe the day that you at least hear it. Depends on how quick I can be with things. Hold on, dog, let me put the camera on so they can see me. I don't see a dog. I don't know where the dog would be. 29, I don't see anything out here, so that's good. We're just gonna stop for 1 second, turn on all the lights. What should we do now? Double, 3 minutes, not bad. I'm not sure which way it said to go, straight or back. We'll go straight. Oh, is it doing a fucking stupid U-turn up here for no reason? Yeah, it looks like we might be doing a stupid U-turn for no reason. Yeah, because now it's going to be 6 minutes. That's what sucks about this thing. Alright, so I'm just going to flip over here, get out of this person's way for a second. And then flip it here. And there we go. Now it will only be a few minutes. I was too stressed out about the dog to pay attention to use and shit. So if that ever happens to you, you just don't go where they're trying to take you to go to turn around. Just turn around where it's safe. Cool thing about driving with Amazon Flex is that you can bring a person with you, but you can also bring a pet with you. If you have a doggy dog, you want to bring a doggy dog with you, you can bring a doggy dog with you. They just have to stay in the car when you're at the the place. You gotta keep your dog in the car while you're filling it up and all of that. They don't want it like coming in and out of all the stuff. And then obviously when you're delivering to people's houses, you probably don't want to bring your dog like, out to poop in their yard and stuff. But as long as you're normal and do normal things with your puppy, they let you bring it. So I was gonna take the Jeep with me one day and take Mona Man with me because I'm using my Nana's car for this, and she doesn't want any dogs in the car. Oh boy, where the hell am I going? Alright, I guess this isn't so bad. It looked like scary out here for a minute. Still kind of scary, but it's not as bad, and there's like 7 cars out here. I bet you nobody could find this one. That's why it's late. I feel like these ones are just a collection of the ones that people messed up on all day long, that they're like, we can't find it. So they send it with us to like, here's all the riffraff left over from packages that go out in the big trucks. Do a good job, they'll treat you right. So our last one, yeah, look at that, 12 minutes. I called it, my psychic self. Alright, so what the hell are they doing now? You see what I mean? It appears to be, unless maybe it's a one-way, I don't understand why we would go all that time away. So I'm going to pay attention at this fucking light. And if I can take a right at this fucking light, I'm going to take a right at this fucking light. And if I can't take a right at this fucking light, which I can see already that I can, perfect motherfucking example of the stupidness that they do. So we're gonna go to the first house on the left. And we just cut off some of that drive. So here we go. 10 minutes. If you're in a big van, yeah, maybe it would be difficult to do what I just did, because I was just like, whoop, and I pulled over there. But it's nighttime. Nope, there was one car that was mildly inconvenienced. But like, think about this. The people that live at that house often have to take a left right there to pull into their house. I guarantee you, they're not driving a mile away to pull to their house. That's more mileage on your car. That's more gas on your car. You might as well just do what makes sense to take some time off. We're all done. Next one's tomorrow at 7:15. It's a good time to check to see if there's upcoming offers. Sometimes, yep, so 5:15 on Tuesday. Scheduled. Awesome shots. So now when I go check my schedule, my calendar, I've got one for every day.